like sharp minds, brewed hot, sure bra. No sugar, no filter. Sip, think, repeat, repeat, repeat.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at a really interesting artistic journey. The evolution of Dove Cameron. You probably know the name, maybe from her Disney stuff, but there's this whole transformation we want to unpack.
Yeah, there really is.
We've pulled together quite a bit of material to explore how Chloe Celeste Hosterman, her birth name, became this multifaceted artist she is now.
And our mission really is to get under the skin of what drove that change. Personally, artistically, all of it.
It's a story that I think says a lot about reinvention, finding your voice.
Absolutely. And the courage it takes to be authentic, especially when you start out in a certain mold. We'll trace it all. Early days Disney, that big musical shift, her look, and where she is now.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. Bainbridge Island, Washington, born January 96. Sounds idyllic, maybe.
Well, yes and no. It seems like there was definitely artistic encouragement, early on.
Right.
But alongside that, some real challenges too.
Okay, like what?
Well, her parents were definitely supportive of the arts. She was doing community theater young, like playing Cosette in Les Mis at 8 years old. That's pretty serious.
Wow, yeah. At Bainbridge Performing Arts.
Yeah.
So the talent was there early.
Clearly. And then the family moves to L.A. when she's 14, specifically for her career. She gets into Burbank High's show choir, which was a top program.
But that LA dream phase, it wasn't easy.
No, not at all. She's spoken about experiencing really intense bullying, awful stuff being locked in closets, hateful messages, even razor blades left for her. Just horrific.
God, that's terrible. How does she cope with that?
It sounds like music and acting became her refuge, her escape. She said she just poured everything into it, became really passionate about making it happen.
And then on top of that, more hardship. Her father.
Yeah, tragically, he died by suicide in 2011. She was only 15. He'd struggled with mental health.
That's an immense loss for a teenager. For anyone.
It is. And it's quite moving, actually, how she chose her stage name. Dove was a nickname her father gave her.
Oh, wow. So she took that name legally in his honor.
Exactly. A way to keep that connection.
Her upbringing culturally sounds quite eclectic, too, not just the acting side.
Definitely not typical, maybe. Her parents had diverse tastes. Jazz, classic cinema like Lawrence of Arabia, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror, okay.
Yeah. And her dad apparently introduced her to some pretty unconventional music. Noise pop, like sleigh bells.
Really?
Yeah. And DJs like Justice and Skrillex from the underground Seattle scene. Plus psychedelic rock like Cream, Florence, plus The Machine. It's a real mix.
That's not the usual path to Disney, is it?
Not exactly. And musically, she was largely self-taught, learning on the job, you could say. Early stage work, then Disney.
So those first proper recordings were actually for Disney. Liv and Maddie, Descendants.
Right, around 2015. That's where she learned the ropes of studio singing, essentially, in a very public setting.
So she's immersed in that world, gaining experience, even if her own taste was maybe heading somewhere else.
Precisely. Which leads us nicely into her artistic evolution, the Disney era, say 2013 to 2017. That sound is very distinct.
Oh, yes. Sweet pop, musical theater vibes, covers like Imagine Dragons on Top of the World, very Disney Channel.
And successful within that world. Better in Stereo, the Liv and Maddie theme. That hit #1 on the Billboard Kid Digital Songs chart.
Right, massive for that audience. And she had that duo too, didn't she, with Brian McCartan?
The Girl and the Dreamcatcher, yeah. Formed in 2015, he was her boyfriend and co-star then. They did teen pop. Put out an EP called Negatives in 2016.
So that was her first kind of step into songwriting, collaborating outside the main Disney machine.
Exactly. But interestingly, those projects didn't make huge waves mainstream. It kind of suggests she was still searching, finding her own voice.
And that search really picked up speed after the main Disney commitments ended, around 2019 onwards.
Definitely. That's when you start hearing a real shift. More atmospheric, textured, darker, frankly. Alt-pop territory.
So what were the first signs of that?
Well, her solo EP Bloodshot Waste in late 2019. Electropop production, but with this melancholic feel. A clear departure.
And a bigger focus on her own writing.
Absolutely. She's talked about the difference between just singing, which she says doesn't do much for her, versus composing, which is everything. Her music became how she processes things.
More vulnerable, more personal lyrics then.
Yeah, drawing directly from her life.
Yeah.
Like Lazy Baby in 2021, it's got that disco pop energy. But it's about her breakup with Thomas Doherty. Cathartic, but rooted in real experience.
Okay, and then Boyfriend, 2022. That felt like the moment.
It really did. Born out of introspection about her sexuality, she said, just raw emotion turned into this sultry pop anthem. And apparently she wasn't thinking about charts or radio at all.
Which is often when it connects most, right?
Exactly. And stylistically, wow. Dark, sensual, cinematic, those jazzy bits, the heavy bass. It was such a contrast to the Disney image.
People really noticed. Critics, too.
Oh, yeah. Calling it audacious, biting, perfectly in tune with modern pop. It felt like she had finally landed on her sound, that alt-pop R&B synth-pop blend.
And the follow-up singles, Breakfast, Bad Idea, they kept that vibe going.
They did. Solidify that darker, more satirical pop style. And that gender-flipped cover of A Girl Like You turning it into A Girl Like Me, that was clever. Unexpected.
So the themes became more defined, too. Identity, sexuality.
Yeah, self-affirmation.
Yeah.
Boyfriend, subverting gender roles, her expressing attraction to women openly, Breakfast, with his video critiquing patriarchal norms after Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Using her platform.
And healing, too, like in Lazy Baby. It all started to form this coherent universe. Feminist, queer, celebratory, but also vulnerable and kind of dark.
Very intentional.
It feels that way. And collaborations were part of this journey, too. We mentioned Ryan McCartan early on.
Right.
But later, in 2020, working with rapper BIA on Remember Me, that added a different, more urban edge.
And the Khalid duet, We Go Down Together, in 2023, that felt significant.
Definitely. Collaborating with a respected R&B artist like Khalid really signaled her credibility beyond Disney.
And you can't forget her work with stage and screen legends, Kristen Chenoweth, Ariana DeBose, in things like Hairspray Live or Schmigadoon. That feeds in too, right?
Absolutely. All those diverse influences shape an artist. So it's been this process of refining, pushing boundaries, staying emotionally honest, and working with others, finding herself through the music.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly to her breakthrough, her rise to fame. Because the music breakthrough was 2022, but she was famous before that, right? From TV.
Oh, absolutely. Her initial big break was definitely television. 2013, she's 17, lands that dual lead in Disney Channel's Liv and Maddie.
Playing twins, completely different personalities, that must have been demanding.
Hugely. Showcased her acting and singing, and it was an instant hit. The pilot got, 5.8 million viewers? Massive for Disney Channel.
And she won an Emmy for it, a daytime Emmy in 2018. That's pretty rare for kids' TV.
Very rare. Then she becomes the star of Descendants in 2015, Kenny Ortega directing, playing Mal, Maleficent's daughter.
That franchise was enormous. Sequels in 2017, 2019. She became a global idol for that age group.
Totally. And the soundtrack hit #1 on the Billboard 200. Her songs like If Only, Rotten to the Core, cemented that multi-talented Disney star image.
But as we said, she seemed aware that label could be limiting, wanted something more.
Which brings us back to 2022 and Boyfriend. That was the musical breakthrough. Outside Disney, it just exploded. TikTok first, then radio.
Those lyrics, I could be a better boyfriend than him, pretty bold. And the whole vibe, sensual, mysterious, it connected differently.
It really did. Reaching number 12 on the Hot 100, that's a serious achievement, especially post-Disney Channel. Platinum status, over 1 billion streams.
Yeah.
It proves she was a real pop contender.
And it became this huge LGBTQ plus anthem that year too, right? Because she was embracing her queer identity so openly.
Exactly. So what made it blow up like that? Several things, probably.
Word of mouth, social media.
Definitely. TikTok challenges were huge. Critics getting behind her, acknowledging the artistic shift. And I think just the authenticity of it resonated. People were ready for her real voice.
So she transitioned from nostalgic Disney star to, well, a current pop force.
Yeah, features in Rolling Stone, winning Best New Artist at the AMAs in 2022. That industry recognition was key.
And that AMA speech was something else, dedicating it to the queer community.
Right after the Colorado Springs tragedy, too. She made it about the vital importance of queer visibility. It was really powerful, very engaged.
How did she react to all that success and the inevitable bumps along the road?
She seemed genuinely surprised, moved by the reaction to Boyfriend. Said she felt she could finally be herself publicly, and the warm welcome was more than she'd imagined. Felt closer to her fans.
And that idea of staying true to yourself seems key for her.
Yeah, she basically said she wrote Boyfriend for herself, because she loved it, it was her honest story. And then, paradoxically, that's what connects most with others.
She learned to handle the tough stuff early on, though, right? Fame at 17, anxiety attacks.
Yeah, she's been open about that. Said her first public fan encounter triggered an anxiety attack. That's a lot to handle.
So how does she cope?
Therapy, support from loved ones, and she apparently used the pandemic quiet time to sort of recalibrate her identity outside the public eye, ground herself.
And she seems to view setbacks differently now, like opportunities.
Seems that way. Like the Powerpuff Girls pilot not going forward in 2021. Instead of a failure, maybe it freed her up to focus on the music that was about to explode.
And that decision in 2021 to wipe her old music from streaming, that was bold.
Very bold. A real statement. Basically saying, this isn't me anymore. We're starting fresh. Shows real self-awareness and a willingness to make hard choices.
Okay, let's talk visuals. Because her look has changed just as dramatically as her sound.
Oh, completely. It's fascinating to track. From that bright, smiley Disney girl in Liv and Maddie and Descendants.
Platinum blonde, colorful outfits, very wholesome teen idol.
Exactly. But she's hinted that even then, she wanted something else. Something more her.
And that change really came with the new music.
Hand in hand. Ditching the signature blonde for dark brown hair felt like the first big visual break. A symbol.
And the fashion press noticed, started talking about a glam goth style.
Right. Her red carpet looks got way bolder. Glamour meets gothic. That 2022 Vengeance premiere look is a perfect example. Vintage black lace, Versace, Victorian touches, black platforms, smoky eyes.
Yeah, very defined. The whimsy goth queen, as someone called her.
Yeah. It became this signature. Dark colors, rich fabrics like leather, velvet, lace, mixed with edgier stuff, corsets, chokers, chains.
And that carries through to her videos and stage shows, a consistent world.
Very consistent. Boyfriend video, elegant black and white, that cabaret gothic feel, matches the song perfectly.
And Breakfast, that was really conceptual.
Super conceptual. 1970s aesthetic, vintage sets, costumes, all to flip gender roles post Roe v. Wade. Dove as this powerful businesswoman in a man's world, essentially.
Showing the absurdity of sexism by reversing it, making you think.
Exactly. She wanted to show that disturbing contrast, make people question those ingrained stereotypes. It's smart visual storytelling.
And even her personal style, off camera, seems part of this. The tattoos, for example.
Oh yeah, she has over 20 tattoos, apparently.
Yeah.
Many are personal tributes, like the Candy is Dandy one for her dad. An inside joke.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and a family sword with cousins, symbols of feminism, the divine feminine. They're part of her look now, often visible, telling her story non-verbally.
Her stage presence, too, those expressive gestures, maybe from theater, and the androgynous outfits.
Definitely. She moves between glamorous dresses and tailored suits, blurring gender lines, which echoes her song themes. It all fits together.
Where do these visual ideas come from? It feels like a real mix.
It is. Musical theater, definitely. The performance style of camp, drag queen aesthetics, she said they influenced her stage presence. Remember her character Betsy in Schmigadoon?
Oh yeah, very over-the-top, campy ingenue.
Exactly. Inspired by drag queens she loves, that sense of irony and theatricality pops up in her videos too, like Breakfast.
So theater, camp, what else?
Yeah.
Cinema, fashion.
All of it. You see hints of Tim Burton's gothic vibe, nods to 90s haute couture. She wears vintage Mugler, Versace, even influences from comics and video games. She voiced Ghost Spider for Marvel Rising.
Wow, so she's like a visual chameleon pulling all these threads together.
Absolutely, creating this eclectic, bold, modern universe where the look serves the story. As that photo caption said, the glam goth style, often androgynous like that off-white blazer look, it's all part of breaking from the past and defining her current self.
It's more than just the music and visuals, though. She's become quite an engaged public figure, right?
Yeah.
Sharing her views, her vulnerabilities.
Very much so. Her LGBTQ plus advocacy is a huge part of that. Coming out publicly in 2020.
On an Instagram Live, wasn't it? Call herself super queer.
Yeah. And since then, she consistently uses her platform for visibility and respect. That AMA speech dedication we mentioned was a key moment. She said her LGBTQ plus fans allowed her to be herself, write music about it, and that she'd never felt safer, loved, and accepted.
That's powerful, especially tying it to the need for visibility after the Colorado Springs shooting.
It really landed. And what's interesting is she admitted feeling unsure at first, like maybe she wasn't queer enough to speak out, didn't want to take space.
That shows real self-awareness.
It does. But she moved past that, realizing the importance of the conversation, saying her personal journey didn't outweigh the need to speak about what's happening to the community. She found her voice on that.
And feminism, too. That seems like a strong theme.
Definitely. The Roe v. Wade reversal clearly hit her hard, leading to things like the Breakfast video. She advocates for gender equality, speaks out against sexism, both subtly in her art and explicitly online.
Those feminine divine tattoos fit in there, too.
Exactly. And having come up in entertainment, seeing the pressures on women, She wants to push for a freer image. She's talked about that weird conflict of being hypersexualized young while having to be a Disney role model.
Yeah, those double standards.
And then there's mental health awareness. That's incredibly personal for her.
Dealing with depression, anxiety since she was a kid, starting therapy at 8.
Yeah, and she considers it essential. And she's so open about it. All her own struggles, suicidal thoughts, the impact of her father's suicide. She wants to break this stigma.
Quoting her, "We need to talk about it without shame. If we could be more open. So many people could say, hey, I see no way out anymore. Can you show me another one?"
It's incredibly brave. She hopes it encourages others to get help, and she advocates for making therapy more accessible. Therapy should be free for everyone, she said.
That honesty must really connect with fans who face similar things.
Without a doubt. It builds this authentic connection. She shares her life on social media, but not just the glossy parts. Makeup-free selfies, live chats, talking politics. It makes her relatable.
Fans praise that authenticity. It mirrors the honesty in her recent music.
And she seems happier for it, aligning her public persona with her real self. Her fan base has definitely grown up with her, or discovered her as young adults who appreciate that resilience and engagement.
She comes across as empathetic, turning her own struggles into something universal. It really deepens her work.
Yeah, it adds this whole other layer, makes her inspiring, not just entertaining.
So where does all this leave her now? Early 2025, she seems to be juggling a lot.
Skillfully juggling, I'd say. Musically, she's clearly riding the wave from Boyfriend, building toward that debut album.
Right, the Alchemical Project. Releasing it in volumes is an interesting choice.
It is. Volume 1 came out late 2023. Had Boyfriend, Sand, White Glove, really strong, cohesive work. That blend of electronic pop, gothic hints, orchestral touches.
Critics seem to like Volume 1, praise the evolution.
Generally, yes. Good reception for the production, her artistic growth. So now everyone's waiting for Volume 2, expected this year, 2024, to complete the picture. Maybe a full album title like Celestial Bodies.
And then just recently, February 2025, a new single dropped, Too Much, billed as the start of Album 2.
Yeah, so either she's incredibly prolific with 2 albums back-to-back, or Alchemical is maybe just the first part of a larger vision. We'll have to see.
But acting hasn't gone away.
Not at all. She was back in Schmigadoon, season 2 last year, playing that cabaret singer. Showed off her voice and comedy chops again. Voice work, too, like in Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
And she's still connected to Descendants, a new spin-off movie coming.
Yeah, The Rise of Red, planned for Disney Plus this year. Rumor is she might cameo as Mal, kind of pass the torch.
Film-wise, she seems to be choosing carefully. Vengeance got good notices.
Right, that dark comedy in 2022. She said she wants more indie or darker stuff to, quote, break her image. No huge films announced for 2025 yet, but things are likely in the works.
What about future ambitions, beyond acting and recording?
A world tour seems high on the list. She hasn't done one yet. Pandemic, building up material. She mentioned wanting to tour Asia back in 2022. Maybe late this year, 2025.
Could happen. Any other interests? Directing? Writing?
She's expressed interest in directing her own music videos, says she has lots of visual ideas, and maybe producing or screenwriting down the line. She certainly has the multifaceted experience for it.
So the long-term plan seems to be balance. Music and film, no strict separation.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Continue experimenting artistically, maybe more rock or alternative sounds she likes. But the priority looks like maintaining that creative freedom she fought for, following her gut.
She doesn't seem to regret the journey, even the tough parts.
No, she said something like, everything counts to get where you're supposed to go. That alchemical title itself suggests turning trials into art. That seems core to her now.
So with that mindset and her fan base, she's likely sticking around.
Highly likely. As both an actress and a respected singer-songwriter, she's built a solid foundation.
So if we boil it down, her artistic philosophy really comes back to authenticity, right? Self-love driving the creation.
Exactly. That quote about Boyfriend sums it up. I just wrote it because I loved it. If you create for yourself, you end up creating for everyone. That's her credo.
And it works. It explains why she's resonated now as this pop star who is just herself, unapologetically.
It really does. Which leads to a final thought for you listening. Does Journey really shows how embracing all your messy parts, even the failures, can actually fuel really powerful, authentic art.
Right.
So as she keeps evolving, what other kinds of creative alchemy will she explore? How will being too much for some people keep challenging and connecting with the world?
Her story really suggests that those big breakthroughs come from deep personal honesty. And her future work, well, it's going to be fascinating to watch that principle play out. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
Cappuccino, white crop, mines, brewed hot, served raw. No sugar, no filter, sip, think, repeat.